In our last video, I showed you how to clean data like a pro in Excel using manual techniques. But today, I'm taking you to the next and advanced level where Excel cleans your data for you automatically. If you're tired of removing duplicates, fixing text, correcting dates, and cleaning the same messy data every single day, this lesson will change the way you use Excel forever. Power Query is Excel's built-in data automation tool that allows you to import, clean, transform, and refresh messy data automatically with one click. No repeated manual work. In this fourth episode of the Excel Mastery series by Soluma Institute of Tech and Management, I will show you how to automate your entire data cleaning process using Power Query exactly the way data analysts and professionals do it in the real world. By the end of this video, you'll be able to clean large datasets in seconds with just one click. If you want to work faster, smarter, and at a professional level, like this video right now, subscribe to the channel, and let's automate your Excel together.
All right, let's dive in straight into Power Query and automate this data cleaning process. Okay, to launch Power Query in Microsoft Excel, click anywhere within the data range. Head over to your data tab. Under the data tab, you locate this from table/range. If your data set is already opened in Microsoft Excel, if it's not open, you make use of this option here, but our data set is already open. Let's go ahead and select from table/range. Automatically Excel dictate the range of data we are working with, and it is going to first to convert it to a table. It's asking if our table has headers. Of course, when we look at this data set, it has headers. We click OK. It automatically opens us to Power Query interface, and here is the table, active table we are to clean, the data we are to clean, the preview of the data. Here is the table we are working with. Here are the Power Query functions we are going to be using, some of them. Here is the tab, here is the title bar, and on this panel, very important feature of Power Query where each step we take cleaning this data is recorded here in the particular order. All right, now to clean this data set, we are going to start from transaction ID. In our previous video, I explained what transaction ID stands for as a primary key, which is a unique identifier. What makes it a unique identifier? If you missed that previous video in this Excel Mastery series, feel free to click it right here on this channel and learn how to clean data using Excel functions and formulas. All right, here in Power Query, we are going to remove duplicate from the transaction ID. What's duplicate? If we have any of these IDs that is repeated right here in this column. To do that, there are different ways to remove duplicate. Click on transaction ID, right click, you will see this option called remove duplicate. Another way you can do that in Power Query is to click on the transaction ID, go over to remove rows. You will also see the option called remove duplicate. I'm going to click on it. Once that is done, you will see automatically it records here that duplicates is being removed. That's the first step we did on this particular cleaning process. All right, the next is to clean the customer name, split it into two, where our manager said we don't want the name to be together, we want it to split into first name and last name. We are going to see how we can do that with ease and also work on the testing consistencies, if there is any empty or if there is inconsistent spaces and all that, how we can go about to do that. Now, in this case, since we are splitting, we are going to first go over to this. When we click on this particular column, we can right click. When we right click, you will see different options. You will see remove other columns. You will see come over to this, you see split column. That is one of the ways to which you can clean, in which you can split columns and all that. Now, but before we do that, we are going to make sure that these our tests are in their proper casing before we split. If not, we are going to do that differently, or we are going to do that separately in their separate columns once we have splitted this particular column. All right, to make sure they are in consistent spacing or consistent characters and tests, we are going to come to transform. Now, under transform, we are going to select capitalize each row. Once we click on it, you will see that each of the words starts with capital letter, and the step is recorded here. Now, having done that, having recorded that, the next we can also do is to come to do transform, and then remove if there is any unwanted space. If that is done, the step is recorded as well. The next we have to do is to right click and then come to split column. Now, when we go to split column, it will ask us how do you want to split by delimiter, by number of characters, and the lines. We are going to select by delimiter. This dialog box will pop up automatically it will dictate a certain delimiter within the data range. This delimiter there is space. That's what it dictates automatically, and that is okay by us. We click OK, and that is split into two. What we are going to have here now, we are going to have here to double click to change this to first name, and then we move over to this, double click as well, and change this to last name. All right, now that is the aspect for customer name. We no longer have it as customer name. We have here first name, last name. Now, having established that, the next to clean is to go to our email column. Under email columns, you will see invalid email. You will see other user emails and the likes. This is the data set. We click on it, right click. Under right click, when you click on it and then right click, you will see this option called replace value. Replace values. We are going to select it. It will open up this box for us. It adds some value to find. What value are we looking for? What value are we looking for? We are looking for invalid email. We are looking for invalid email. I think email.com. Now, once it finds this value, what we want it to replace with, we can put here not provided. That means the user, the customer did not provide email. So we are going to replace it with not provided, and then we say OK. And once that is done, you will see all the invalid emails are being replaced with not provided. And that is what we have here. Now, moving over to the transaction date, we are going to make sure that this date is in a consistent format as date. Now, having done that, we are going to click on the transaction date. Let's go to transform. Under transform, we will come here and say dictate data type. If it dictates it, it really didn't do that for us. It's just showing that the data type is text, which is not what we want. Hence, we are going to come over to this and change it to date. We change the data type to date. And then you ask us, do you want to replace it? We say yes, we replace it. And here you see different errors. This one is null. Null is an empty cell. This is error. Maybe it's a space bar. It's a space bar that is used for that particular stuff. So what are we going to do? In most cases, you have to replace it with a dummy date. You can replace that with a dummy date. And how do we do that? We also come here, right click, go over to replace errors. For those ones that have error in it, we say replace error with what? We are going to replace it with a dummy date. I always make use of 12/12 2080. A dummy date, verify anybody that sees that that's a dummy date, and that I said okay, for all the errors they are now replaced with that dummy date. And then I'm going to do the same to replace with values, the one that have no value, and replace it with that. So if I come here, I type n. Now notice that when I type n, even though it's the same spelling, but provided it is not within the same spacing, it's not a small letter, it's capital letter. So we are going to remove it and replace it with our normal casing that is here, small letters, and that is okay. So find none and replace it with 12/12/28. And that is what we have here. I say okay, and all that is being replaced, and of course everything here is in the date format. Okay, moving over to the next one, which is the product. Here we are going to go over to this. We click here, right click, come over to transform. If there is unwanted space, we first of all remove it. We put on trim, and then we transform again and make it capitalize each one. Anyone that is that. So we have this all cleaned up. The next we are going to work on is the category. The same thing we did to this. We right click, go to transform, remove unwanted space. If there is, then go to transform again, and then capitalize each one so that we have it in a consistent format. Then moving forward to the sales amount. Now under the sales amount, we are going to remove both the minus sign, the null values, and have them all in positive. We are not having a minus sales. There is nothing like minus sales. If you make sales, you make sales. If you didn't make sales, you didn't make sales. All right. Now to remove the null value, we are going to use the replace function. We are going to use the replace option, right click, and then go to replace values. Replace values. Of course, all these you can see we are not writing any formulas. We are going to put here now. Replace it, we are going to replace with 0. If we don't make sales, that's 0, and then we say okay, all the null values are replaced with zeros. Okay, the next thing we are going to do is to work on the minus signs, and then to work on that, we are going to right click here. Under right click, we are going to go to transform. Now once we click on transform, you see that while we are working with numbers, the options in transform have changed. If you are working with test, it will be under trim, proper, upper, and the likes. But once you are transforming numbers, it will change whether you want to round it up, round it down. Then you are going to select absolute value. What does absolute value do? It converts every number to a positive integer. All right, we select absolute value. You see all the details here that are minus and on negatives and now on to positive. Okay, we move forward. We move to the region. Under the region, we also see inconsistent, some capitals, some small letters, and the likes. We are going to right click, go to transform, and make it capitalize each one. And we see that's in very, very order. Okay, next we are going to do here is we are going to do the same to payment method. Right click, go to transform, and say capitalize each one. Once we have done that, I'm going to do another thing in the payment. I'm going to say right click. Now under right click, I'm going to say replace values. Here I'm going to type POS. Replace anywhere you see this POS with a full capital POS of, then we say okay. So that is anywhere POS small letters that is being replaced. Okay, we move forward to discount. Under the discount, we are going to replace the null values with 0. So we click here, right click, come over to replace values. We have here we also type here the null and then replace it with 0s. And then we say okay. Now anywhere you see 0, anywhere you see null, that is being replaced 0. Then the same way in profit. Now under the profit, we are going to right click, go to replace values. Here we also to replace null with 0s as well. And then we say okay. The next we are going to do as well also is to change the profit to positives. If let's say in our organization there's no way we are experiencing a negative in profit is always in positive. If we don't make profit, we don't make profit. If we make profit, we make profit. Now manager says this negative is a mistake, ensure that they are all in positives. To do that, we are going to use the same transform. Right click, go to transform, select the absolute value as well. And that does all that to stuff like this. Finally, on this particular data set is the order status, where we are going to make sure that they are all consistent in their placing. Right click, go to transform, and then say capitalize each one. So once that is done, you see that all these are in their rightful location. The next thing we do is to ensure that they are all in their right data type. You see this ABC is a test. This one is test. That's ABC. This is test as well. Also, email is test. The transaction date you come here is in date. That's why is this. If you are not sure, you click on date. That is done. Then the products are in test, the category are in test. If they are not, do well to change it. Then in sales amount, this is decimal, that is decimal. If you want it in currency in whole number, you select, but we leave it in decimal because our sales have maybe some cents, some kobo in it. This is test. And then we check that on every other details. Other discount, we are giving discount. If our discount are all in whole number, we are going to come over to this and select whole number. And that one is being changed. So every time we receive discount is definitely going to be in whole number. And that is how we transform data. Now going over to home, let me explain what we use to split here by right clicking. You can also get it here, split by delimiter. And also let's take for example that in our analysis, our manager says for our analysis here we don't, let's say here we don't need the email for the analysis. For example, the manager said in what we're analyzing, we don't need the staff, we don't need their emails, we don't need let's say the emails and the product category. Let's say the product category will be okay. Okay, let's say the manager says we don't need the email. So what do? You can come here, click on this, and then you remove column. You come over to this and say remove column. Now once that is done, the column is removed. And let's say for example, after you have done that, the manager comes back and say, no, we need the email, just leave the email in the data set. And you have already removed it in Power Query. What do? You come over to the last step, which says remove column, and then you cancel it. Once you click on that step you take is cancelled and your email is back. So if there is any step that you take here is not valid, you do have to come in on any of them, then you cancel it, and that step is removed. Now, having finished that, once you are done, everything is okay. The next thing you do is to come to close and load. You click on this, you say close and load. This one, when you click on this, that's if you want to load to a new window, to a new sheet, and what have you. But let's load to the existing Excel sheet for proper automations and that, so that we can see how everything automates. Okay, we click on close and load. Once that is done, we begins to load the new data here. It shows us, it's telling us that 1,382 rows loaded. Now what this shows us simply is because they are duplicates. If you come to this original data, if we look at it here, you will see that this data is around 1,600 and something, but having removed duplicates for our cleaned data. So here we can call this cleaned sales data. All right. Now here is showing us that what we now have loaded is 1,382 loaded. Now, what if you receive a fresh data of the same sales report? You receive a new sales report like this, and you need to add it every time. You need to add it to your data set and let the analysis you have done with it updates. What do? What you do is simple, is to automate it. And to do that, that is where I'm going to show us that as a powerful bonus tips, how you repeat the same cleaning with just one click. You don't need to clean it again and add it to this table. No, what you just need is to put it right on this table, and then you do that with one click. And that is the bonus tip for this video. All right, now let's say we receive this fresh data, this fresh sales data, as raw as it is here. What are we going to do? Are we to clean it up again and then come and paste it up here and all that? Come to the separate names, and that will take us time. What we just need to do is to take this new data set we received, copy it, Ctrl+C, and then take it to our original data source. Under the original data source, come down here and you paste it. Once you paste it, Ctrl+V, it's being adopted into the data. And then the next you do is to head over to data set, to data, and then come over to this and say refresh all. Now, once that is done, let's head over to our data, the clean data, and see if that is added to it. Now, you see that we loaded 1,382. Now we have this new data added to our sheet. Where cleaned, splitted, here is not being split, but here is being cleaned. Everything is being done with just one click, just refresh button, and that is what we have as automating Excel Power Query. Here you can name this table whatever name you want to call it, and that is how you can automate your data cleaning in Microsoft Excel. And anytime you receive new data, you just refresh it with one click, and all the cleaning is done with ease. You are no longer going to be repeating the cleaning process over and over again, and that is automating data cleaning using Power Query.
You've just seen how to automate your entire data cleaning process in Excel using Power Query. From fixing messy text and dates, to removing duplicates and correcting wrong values, all with just one click. From today, Excel should no longer feel like stress. It should feel like power in your hands. If this video helped you upgrade your Excel skill, please like this video, because it helps more people discover this powerful training. And if you're serious about mastering Excel, subscribe to Soluma Institute of Tech and Management right now, so you don't miss what's coming next. In the next episode of the Excel Mastery Series, I'm going to take you into Advanced Power Query, where you will learn how to combine multiple Excel files, automatically clean them together in one workflow, and refresh everything with a single click. No copy, no paste, no stress. This is the exact skill used by data analysts, accountants, and business professionals who work with daily, weekly, and monthly reports. So, turn on the notification bell now, because the next episode will move you from Excel user to Excel automation professional. I'll see you in the next lesson.